So this is the trail marker for the trailhead for the project of North-South Trail, which Jeremy Graham completed in 2003. One of the great things about the Irvington Woods is that it's been done through this collective effort. It's very inclusive. So the usage of the trails for hiking, bird watching, mountain biking, for the Boy Scouts, for camping, has been a tremendous effort. One thing that we're trying to make sure we achieve is a good balance where the various aspects of the woods could be used, but not overused, and maintained in a way that's sustainable. So here we have one of our 2 kiosks, which were donated by the Irvington Landmark Preservation Board. And on this side of the kiosk, we have maps, not only of the whole Irvington Woods, but we also have suggested trail hikes to guide people on what's appropriate for their skill level and time availability. And on the other side, we have information about the environment, the wildlife, and the history of the Irvington Woods. Within the Irvington Woods, we have the Peter Oley Trailway System, named after our mentor on these issues, Peter Oley, who was our village historian, a naturalist, a teacher, track coach for decades. And it's because of Peter that the existence of the trailway system exists. It was his enthusiasm for what he used to call the back 40 that led to the effort, with initially through the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and others, but led to the creation of this trail network. Peter was a great individual who encouraged people to get out and actually enjoy the woods, and he thought it addressed a lot of the ills of society, because between the ability to be in touch with nature, the ability to get better exercise, he thought the woods provided the community with some really great benefits. A lot of the trails work that's been happening over the last few years has been through different groups. The Boy Scouts actually started the effort with Peter Oley being the leader. And we had 4 Boy Scouts get their Eagle Scouts. Then we had a bunch of Girl Scouts get involved to do various projects on the trails. And then we also had things done by the cross-country team. And here's an example of one of the early bridges that the cross-country team built. It's been a great community effort in that sense, getting all different groups involved. So a lot of the land that the woods are on now were part of old estates from the 18th and 19th century, from various wealthy people from Hamilton and his family, and Philip Shire, his brother-in-law, to Harriman owned a piece of property back here, the Hermit, Stoling, as well as Cyrus Field owned a lot of this land. Parts of the land, there were various remnants from the estate. Some of the trails used to be carriage trails where they used to go horseback riding. You could identify these because on the side, every now and then, you could see stone benches carved out of the granite rock. And in this case, we have what's known as Ice Pond, where one of the local estates would harvest ice during the winter, store it in the ice sheds, and use it to keep their perishables cold during the summer. So a lot of the landscape of the Irvington Woods was shaped by glaciers, and one of the most popular places in the woods is Split Rock, which is known as a glacial erratic, or basically a rock that's been moved for miles as the glacier retreated and progressed. In this case, it actually split the rock. There's a few smaller ones that are similar to this around the area. Peter Oley led the Boy Scouts on the initial efforts to rebuild the trails. Back in 1999, Billy Fiorito was the young man who got his Eagle Scout Award by creating a trail that goes from the Irvington Reservoir all the way through the woods to the Hermit's Grave here. After Billy had such great success, I think at least 4 other Boy Scouts were led by Peter to rehabilitate the trails and maintain them. And then the effort was continued by Girl Scouts and the cross-country team and a bunch of local volunteers. It's really been a great team effort. Okay, so this is the grave, the only grave in Irvington actually. It's from Johann Stolting, who was actually a well-educated teacher, linguist, landowner, who became a recluse and is commonly and affectionately known as the Hermit of Irvington. He lived back here. He was born in 1810 and he died in 1883 back here. According to Peter Oley, who was our village historian and drummed up a lot of research on the Hermit, he actually built his own coffin and slept in it for a couple of years before he died. So we just recently completed the O'Hara Nature Center in September 2012. We had the grand opening, and the mission statement of the O'Hara Nature Center is to promote the awareness of the community of our natural environment, the unique nature that we have in the Irvington area, and also to promote an understanding of the environment and how we can work in a more sustainable way within the environment.